LSAC. Very happy to be here. I'm not going to lie, it's going to be pretty difficult to talk about myself for 4 to 6 minutes, but I'll give it a shot. So the purpose of my icebreaker speech, and I mean, I've done this before. I did it at my last Toastmasters club. I've been in Toastmasters for about 8 months. So I've done an icebreaker speech, and I've done about 2 speeches. But the reason I wanted to do it again is because I really wanted you guys to get to know me, to really introduce myself, show you my background, why exactly I'm wearing clothes like this, and why I work in financial planning. I'd really like you all to learn as much as you can about me for my future speeches. So a little bit of background on me is I've always been a New Jersey resident. I actually grew up in Morris County, which is up north. And from there, I went to Monmouth University, where I got my bachelor's and my master's degree in finance and in business. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because of my interest in finance, and especially financial planning itself. And that's where I started my career in financial planning. I actually held some positions at my school as the president of the financial planning club. And eventually, the end goal here is to work towards my CFP, which is the Certified Financial Planner exam. So, I mean, you're probably wondering why I'm mentioning financial planning like 5 times. And the reason for it is because it's my life. It's what I've always wanted to do ever since I was 13, is what I tell people. It's funny, people in high school or in college will say that they didn't know what they wanted to do, or they didn't really have a path as to where they want to go in life. But I've always wanted to be in the financial planning business, and I've always wanted to be a financial planner. And the reason for that is simple. It's because I wanted to help people. It's in my opinion, it's more about helping people and really being able to communicate with people, rather than investments and planning itself and the numbers, even though it's in the name. I think helping people is really the overall goal of finance itself, and it's the right way of doing it, in my opinion. I really like to help people learn to make major life decisions, whether it's, and that comes back to the term of financial planning, whether it's retirement planning, wealth planning, if you're buying a house and you need a mortgage, if you're interested in saving for retirement, if you have cash flow issues, things like that. That's what motivates me to get up and to go to work every day, knowing that I can make a difference in people's lives. So that's where I started my career in financial planning, technically at Monmouth University. I started, and I've been in the industry for about 2 to 3 years. And what I've learned from being in the industry is that everyone has different goals. And really, the truth of financial planning is there's no one size fits all to these answers, I guess you can say. Everyone has different stories, and the goal of financial planning is really to learn what products fit the individual, instead of shoving products in people's faces. And that's what interested me about a fee-only fiduciary. And for those of you who don't know, and that's currently where I work, a fee-only fiduciary is someone who's legally obligated to put your interests ahead of their own. So the only profit they make is from helping people. And that's really what interested me in working for a fee-only fiduciary in general. In my opinion, good planning gives people that clarity and confidence to really go about their dreams and accomplish their goals. And with that is my goal of becoming a financial advisor. So I guess moving on to the actual communication of it, moving past the reasons why I got into it. In my opinion, and I think everyone here knows this, but financial planning topics can be complicated. And the reason people go to financial advisors is because they need it explained simply and properly. And that's really where I want to come in. I want to be able to ask questions and build trust with my clients. And it's honestly, knowing the answer isn't enough if you can't communicate it, I think is the real answer for all of this. So moving on into why exactly I joined Toastmasters, and the reason, as you can probably tell, is my communication. It's something that I want to work on, and as I mentioned earlier in my speech, it is, in my opinion, financial planning is really communication. It's learning to communicate with your clients and building that relationship. And that's really where I think Toastmasters could be something of value to me, where every Monday or every other Monday I get to stand up on a stage and talk to people and learn more about them. That's really why I want to utilize Toastmasters and hopefully, get in as many speeches as I can. Moving on to why exactly I am interested in making these speeches is because I really want to have a ground to explore, how I communicate effectively and efficiently, especially with financial topics. So in my speeches, in my future speeches, I would like to talk about different financial ideas, topics, things like a Roth IRA, a mortgage, insurance, cash flows, just different ideas that come to my mind. I'd really like to talk about it with no script and really just in a room with you guys, just telling you what I know and hopefully explaining it as clear and as confident as I can. And hopefully as I grow in the business, you guys learn more about finance and the right way to do financial planning in general. So thank you. I look forward to working with you guys.